Young man, if you want to improve or increase your chances at having a good relationship with a lady, the first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to learn how to pick women correctly. You're going to have to learn how to pick right. There was a joke that a good friend of mine that recently passed away that we had with each other that, he knew a lot of my relationship history and that. And admittedly, guys, I haven't been very successful. I can get women all day. Never had a problem with getting women, but keeping them and being in lasting relationships has been a bit of a challenge for the over 50 guy. We would have a joke. He would say all the time, your problem is you just can't pick worth a fuck. You just can't pick women well. And guys, I was thinking about that the other day, and I said, I want to talk to you guys about that because when I look back on my situations, guys, it wasn't that the women were horrible, or I can easily do what most young men do when it comes to, a relationship failing or anything. They don't take responsibility. It is always somebody else's fault. They did this and they did that. And while the women that I dealt with weren't certainly angels, when I really boil it down, young men, it wasn't that they were that bad. It was that they just weren't for me, right? And I didn't do the necessary due diligence in the very beginning of the relationship before I picked them to be a wife, before I picked them to be a significant other, that I didn't do these things that I am going to tell you about now, that if I would have done them, it probably would have stopped me from getting into the relationship and the relationship subsequently failing, right? One of the main things that I struggled with when picking women for relationships is not taking the right amount of time to vet them, right? That, young man, I was one of those that, you know what? If you like me, I like you. If we cool, we cool. Let's just go on with it. And my mother would say that anybody can act for a little while, but you need to really spend time with somebody and be with them a while to really figure out what they're about, really figure out who they are, right? And guys, that was one thing that I did not do, that we would begin to date. Me and a woman will start dating. And guys, if it was going well within 6 months to a year, we locking that down. Or worse yet, I'd be wifing that up, right? And guys, it just wasn't enough time. It wasn't enough time to know what that individual is like under pressure, what they're like when they're mad, what they're like because they're going to show you in the beginning. They're going to show you exactly what it is that you want to see. They're going to show you all of the good stuff. Listen, the best foot is forward with both parties when you're just getting started. You showing your best shit when you're just getting started. But over time, right, you get more comfortable, you get more laxed, and those things start to drop off and you start seeing who it is that you're really dealing with. And young man, if you don't take the time to do that, you're going to find out later on that, wait a minute, this isn't what I thought I was getting. And it really isn't her fault. It's your fault because you didn't take the time, or it was my fault, I should say, in these relationships, because I really didn't take the time to see if this woman was really what I wanted. I'm a big stickler on traditional type women, right? I'm big on submissiveness. I am big on cooperation. I don't like combative women, that type of thing. And I would make that known to whoever I was seeing. Of course, them knowing that and them wanting to have a relationship with me, they're going to show all of that stuff. I've dated women that were the most docile, most cooperative until I locked it down. And then it was like, oh shit, I can go back to doing what I do. And it was like night and day. And again, young man, it was because that best foot was forward in the beginning. And if I would have hung out a little while longer to just kind of see what really was what, I would have saw that, and maybe I wouldn't have made the decision that I made. But I think many young men are like me in the sense of you just don't take the time. And you know why a lot of us, or you know why I didn't take the time for a few reasons. I talk to you young men all the time about options, about having options. And more times than many young men, for me, I had the options. I had attention from women. Guys, I had women. I had no problem with attracting women. But my mindset was so messed up at the time that I would get a good one, or what I thought was a good one, a baddie, as y'all call it today. And my thought was, I need to lock this down because I don't know if anything else better is coming, right? I had a scarcity mindset, young man. And instead of looking at it like, you know what? Let me take my time. Let me see what's what over here. Let me see what she's talking about. Let me see if you're close to what it is that I wanted without vetting you, without knowing what was what, because of that scarcity mindset, I just swooped you up, right? As opposed to, again, having options or having the mindset that, you know what, no, I can take my time over here because I'm still checking this over here out and I'm still working on this one over here. Or better yet, I ain't pressed one way or the other. I don't have to have a relationship. I don't have to be married and that was another thing with me. Religion played a big part of it with me, that growing up in a faith-based type household and being a leader in the church, it was important for me, for the sake of appearances, that so it don't look like I'm out here fornicating, which I was, but I had to keep me a wife. I had to, that guilt and that pressure from the church to be married. I had that working against me. And that would be the thing that would make me not vet properly, grab one that is as close to what I think, grab one that is as close to what I need as possible and swoop them up. Terrible mindset, young man. Terrible mindset, because that'll make you rush. That's what I did. I was rushing into these relationships without really knowing what I was getting, right? Another thing that'll make you pick wrong, being caught up in the sex. Being caught up in the sex. We would joke about it all the time when we were younger, that you get into a relationship and the sex is good. You so preoccupied with that. You ain't even thinking about the red flags that you're seeing from her because the coochie is so good. Or she doing things that you ain't never had done before. Again, that speaks to options, young men, that a woman can have your nose open all day long if you've never experienced anybody but her. But so a lot of young men get caught up in that they get a woman and she is off the chain and doing things that you ain't never experienced before. You don't even care about vetting. You don't even care about, you know what, the things that I really need or even want in this relationship. I'm just knee deep in this ass and it's love. And then what happens is same thing that happened to me. You're off into that. And then by the time you come up for air, now you're starting to see things and red flags that you should have saw months ago, right? And maybe by this time you're in a relationship. Maybe by this time you're already married. And now that stuff starts to fade away. That ain't the be all the end all that you thought it was. And now you in it, right? All because you rushed into that thing and you didn't vet, you didn't take the time to really check and really look for the things that are important for maintaining a relationship, right? Not just trying to, not just for the sake of appearances, whether you're in church or something like that, but does this woman really fit and does this woman really suit what I need or what I'm looking for in a relationship? Another thing that'll make you rush, young men, when you just want out of the game. That listen, I knew, like I was a beast, man, when I was single. I'm in the gym every day. I'm making sure everything is right when I go out because I'm on the hunt. I'm on the hunt. And I know that I can find this woman wherever I go. So I got to keep myself right. I got to keep things tight, yada, yada, yada. What ends up happening, young man, is when I would get into these relationships, I'd be like, whew, shit. I can rest now. I don't have to do all of that stuff anymore because I found this woman. And young men, I would tell you, and this is a whole nother video about how that's the last thing that you should do when you get into a relationship, as far as just kind of letting go because you think you found this chick that is going to love you for you and you don't have to do all of those things. That's the biggest fucking lie that's ever been told, but that's another video. But that would be the thing too, young man, that again, instead of finding out what she's really about and if she really suits you. If she's down, you can just get in this relationship and just kind of hide in her and just kind of chill in this relationship. And you don't have to do the things that as a man you should be doing all the time anyway, right? I told you guys in the last video that I would get in relationships and I would disappear. I would be with this chick and I would kind of resurface and I would see people and they'd be like, damn, you done got fat, right? I done got fat because I was hiding in her. I was chilling in this relationship. I can be comfortable now, right? So I would get in these things and I would stop doing the things that made me me, that made me attractive to other women. And a lot of times, young man, I got in relationships especially to do that. So I can just chill. So I can just chill from all the stuff that I was doing to make myself the best version of myself. Now I don't have to do that because I got her. And what you'll find out quickly is that she'll become a whole nother woman based on that. A whole nother woman that you don't want. Because now she's looking at you and she sees you different. But again, yo man, that's a whole nother video for a whole nother time. The point, young man, that I want to make in this whole video is that picking a woman is like the foundation of a house, that everything is contingent on how you pick and what you pick. If your picking mechanism is junk from go, then everything on top of that is going to be junk, right? It starts, young men, from picking correctly. It starts from not being in a hurry. It starts from taking your time and I mean really taking time to make sure that the woman that you're interested in, I ain't talking about just hitting chicks. If you just hitting chicks and y'all just friends and this ain't your video. I am talking about when you are looking at a woman for marriage, when you're looking at her for a serious relationship. If you just knocking her down, this don't apply to you. But if you're looking for that, young man, you have to take the time. You have to take the time to see if she really is the woman that she is presenting herself to be to you. If she's really about those qualities that make her suitable for you, right? And any woman can play the role for a little while in showing you that she's about that life for you. But only time will tell if she's really about that. And you can't be in such a rush because the ass is good or because you just want to get out of the game or any other reason. You think that you may not be able to do better than her. You can't be in such a rush because of those things that you don't vet her properly to see if she's the right woman for you. Because again, that's the foundation of it all. And if you don't do that, what'll happen, because the foundation is messed up, is that as y'all continue to go in this relationship, you'll start seeing things. You'll start seeing things that ain't right. And what's so bad about it, it ain't like she doing new stuff. She's probably doing the stuff that she always did. You just didn't take the time to see if what she was doing in the beginning was an act or was it real or real, right? So as I look back on it, young man, that was the problem in the majority of my relationships, that I just picked wrong women. I just picked wrong women. And I'm not even saying that to shit on them. It's not that they were bad. They just weren't right for me. And I would have known that earlier if I would have took the time, if my mindset was a little better, if I had a abundance mindset to say that I can take my time with you. And if you want to go somewhere else in the meantime, while I'm taking my time to make sure that you're the right woman for me, fine. There's another one waiting for me right here. Instead of being so afraid that if I don't jump at this one, she gonna go somewhere else, I just kind of take anything or whatever it is she's presenting, which may not even be the real thing, right? So that was a thing, young men, that messed me up for years in all of my relationships. And when I look back on it, it was just those things that I've just described to you that made me jump instead of taking the time. And as a result of not taking that time, my relationships failed. They failed. Just wanted to drop that on you guys today, that when it comes to relationships, picking the right woman is everything. Don't have a scarcity mindset. Don't be so caught up in sex, her physical appearance and all of that stuff that you're not noticing red flags, and just hang out long enough. Just hang out long enough and don't rush, young man. you'll end up picking the right woman, increasing your chances to be successful in a long-term relationship or a marriage. Listen, hope that helps. Hope that adds some value for you guys. I'm going to wrap it up with that. Listen, young man, you can continue to go it alone, trying to figure it out by yourself. You can keep watching hundreds of YouTube videos, again, trying to figure it out. Or you can find somebody who's been where you're at, made the mistakes, and knows how to fix the issues that you have. Listen, click the first link in the description below. Jump on a call with me or one of my team members to see if you qualify for our coaching program. Let's see if we can help get you from where you are now to being the best possible version of yourself that you can be. Listen, I am the Over 50 guy / the online dad. We'll be back with another one soon.